We got shirts on sale. Express your evolution and starter Pokemon love by buying an Evolution Family shirt and Which One Starter shirt. Link will be in the description below. I'm treating you guys all too well with these best teams. I did 2 last week and I'm already doing another one already. And we're in Johto. In my honest opinion, I actually think that the original best team for Heartgold and Soulsilver best team was worse than the original best team for Johto. There were lots of errors in that team. The original Johto team for Gold, Silver, and Crystal at least was correct when it came to some facts. The team was just bad. The Heartgold and Soulsilver team was just a mess. And the biggest mistake I made was having Togekiss on the team, which was in fact a big error. You can't get Togekiss until the postgame. That's where the shiny stone is. I also made an error with our starter Pokemon, which I will be getting into momentarily. Not to mention, a lot of you told me that the video was lazily made, and yeah, I gotta say it pretty much was. That video was super lazy and I apologize for it. Let's make up for it now though. I give you the best team for Heartgold and Soulsilver Remastered. Before I get into this team though, allow me to explain what a best team is. A best team is a team of 6 Pokemon that is designed for the absolute best performance for its said Pokemon game. The team revolves around a best starter choice and is then made into a team revolving around that said best starter. In our case, Cyndaquil. Yes, I am 180ing the best starter and I will explain more in a bit. Each team member is designed to do well against certain gym leaders, the Elite 4 members, champion, rival, and the evil team leaders. In the end, we have a team that does well against all the most important battles in game. When making this team, we do provide movesets for each of the Pokemon. On this team, we will not be including trait evolutions, nor regional exclusive Pokemon. We will also not be using legendaries neither, as they make the game way too easy. And as always, no post-game tutor moves, nor egg moves. You guys get the drill by now. Once again, for this remastered best team, we'll be covering Kanto. It's got a lot of really important battles, and it has 8 more gym leaders, and the fact that you can also battle against red. Anyways, that is pretty much what a best team is and what will be covered and fixed in this new remastered best team. So starting off, we got the new best starter for Heartgold and Soulsilver being Typhlosion. There are quite a few reasons for the starter change. The biggest one is that Feraligatr does not get a physical water attack until the very late game, being Aqua Tail and Waterfall. All the water type attacks it gets are special, and as we can see, its special stat isn't abysmal, but it's definitely not hitting super hard. There's also the fact that Feraligatr gets outclassed by so many other water Pokemon in Johto. Now, we still need a water Pokemon for Johto, and the combination of ice moves to correlate with it. I will give you guys a great water Pokemon to use later on in this best team. Trust me on that. Back to the topic of why Typhlosion is better though, and why it should have been on the original best team for Heartgold and Soulsilver. The only reason why it wasn't was because I thought Feraligatr having access to physical attacks made it better, which is false. Typhlosion, or should I say Kolava, gets access to Lava Plume at level 35, and that's already an 80 based power attack. It also gets Flamethrower at level 42. Having that kind of power for its respected most powerful stat at around the 7th or 8th gym is really impressive. The special split actually helped out Typhlosion a lot in Generation 2, but even with that diminished in the remix, it's not that bad for Typhlosion. Sure, you have to do a Flame Wheel for a bit, but it's still more powerful than Ember, and Kolava doesn't have that bad of physical attack. I mean, it's a Mill Sage evolution at 64. To be honest, you're actually hitting harder with Flame Wheel on Kolava than you are with Water Gun on Croconaw. The whole evolution line of Typhlosion just has a better level up learn set than the Feraligatr one does. The Fire type also has a better standing with all the important battles across Johto versus Water type Pokemon. I'm not saying Water Pokemon are bad, I'm just saying out of all the 3 starters, our Fire option of Cyndaquil is the best, and I also think that Typhlosion is the best Fire Pokemon to get in the remix. Someone in the comment section is about to be like, Typhlosion's the best. Comment section, Arcanine, am I a joke to you? Actually, buddy, yeah, you are. You're a version exclusive Pokemon, so you can't be on the team, sucker. Same also applies to Ninetales. Typhlosion has the easiest accessible moveset of all the fire Pokemon from what I can see. Yes, even better than Magmar. But yeah, I think that I have given a pretty decent explanation as to why Typhlosion is the best fire Pokemon you can get, and why it is the superior starter. Now let's hop into its moveset. Typhlosion moveset, I think, is relatively simple and easy to access. We got Lava Plume / Flamethrower. It doesn't really matter which one you choose, to be honest. Lava Plume has 10 less power, but it has a 30% chance to burn. Flamethrower has 10 more power though, so it honestly just comes down to preference. Personally, I prefer Lava Plume though. Next up is Focus Blast, which can be found in the Goldenrod department store. You have access to that location early, but only Typhlosion can learn it. These next 2 moves are interesting, being Solar Beam and Earthquake. Solar Beam can once again be purchased from the Goldenrod department store, and Earthquake can be found in Victory Road. Earthquake is great because, hey, that's overall coverage. Focus Blast does that job, but I mean, hey, Earthquake for other fire types isn't bad at all. Solar Beam benefits Typhlosion because of its water weaknesses, and it doesn't have Thunder Punch, unless it's Move Tutor, which is in the Battle Frontier. Now, I know you're probably gonna be like, you need Sunny Day. Well, too bad. With these moves, Typhlosion is great against Bugsy, Jasmine's team, Price's Piloswine, Will's Jinx and Exeggutor, Koga's Bug types and Muck, Bruno's Onix if you're feeling kinda ballsy, Karen's Umbreon, Vileplume, and Houndoom, Brock's team if you're literally nuts, Misty's team if you're even more crazy. Lieutenant Surge's Magneton, Erika's team, Janine's Bug types, Blaine's entire team, Blue's Executor, Magneton and Arcanine, Silver's Sneasel, Magneton and Feraligatr, Ariana's Vileplume line, Archer's Houndoom line, and Red's team aside from Charizard. Typhlosion is really powerful, and I think it can put in the same work in the remix as it did in the originals. Next up, we have our flyer being Togekiss. Just kidding, I wouldn't do that again. Or would I? Out of all the flying Pokemon in Johto, we have a lot to choose from. We got Xatu, Delibird, Skarmory, Fearow, Crobat. Some of these Pokemon are actually really good choices, but I think the best two are Fearow and Crobat. Hear me out, Skarmory's great and amazing, and to me is the best one. The problem is, it's version exclusive, and it's so far along in the games. Crobat would be the best, but here's my problem with it. All the flying type moves it gets are special, and its poison typing is useless. Poison is only super effective against grass, where its flying type comes in. It gets Sludge Bomb across poison, but I mean, where's the use in that? Poison typing doesn't get decent until Generation 6 where fairy types come in. As for its flying typing, the only physical flying attack it gets is Wing Attack, and then later on, Fly, but that's a 2-turn attack. You remember the last Remastered Best team, and where the Fearow line gets Drill Peck? Yeah, it's back again, and in the remix. Drill Peck is the factor that makes Fearow better than Crobat. You can argue that Crobat has 130 base speed, but what's the point of all that speed if you don't have any hard-hitting attacks? All of the moves are special for Crobat. Fearow has the same exact attack stat with the best capable flying type attack. Sure, it's a little later game being level 47, but still, Crobat only gets Fly. Crobat's got coverage too, I get that, but a lot of these moves are special. Some are also post-game like Giga Drain and X-Scissor being in the Battle Frontier. Fearow has a great physical attack being Drill Peck for its flying typing, and it's got Return for its normal same type attack bonus. But yeah, I think that's the reason why Fearow is better than Crobat for this playthrough. I will say though, in later generations, Crobat is better than Fearow because of acrobatics. For now though, Fearow is better in Heartgold and Soulsilver in in-game playthrough. I hope I did educate you guys on why Fearow is better for this specific playthrough of Pokemon Heartgold and Soulsilver. Oh, I almost forgot to tell you guys where to find Spearow. You can get it right after you get Cyndaquil and Pokeballs on Route 46. Go halfway between Route 29 and there should be a building. Go through that building and there should be a patch of grass and Spearow can be found in there. Boom. For moves on Fearow, we got Drill Peck, Fly, Return, and U-Turn. Drill Peck can be learned by Spearow or Fearow depending on how you want to do it. Drill Peck can be learned by Fearow at level 47, however if you want to keep Spearow until level 37 for Drill Peck, you can do that as well. But at that point, Spearow will be a burden, but if you want Drill Peck faster, you can do it that way. Aerial Ace on Fearow is still very good though, so I don't think you need to do that necessarily. So the order for its base flying moves are Peck first, Aerial Ace second, then replace Aerial Ace with Drill Peck at either one of the levels I discussed. Fly you get from Chuck's wife after you beat her, and it's Fly, we don't want to have to walk everywhere like always. Return can be found in the Goldenrod department store from a lady standing behind the desk on the 5th floor. Go to her on Sunday and she will give you the Return TM if your Pokemon likes you enough. Lastly, we got U-Turn because it's there for pivot in emergency situations, and that TM can be earned from Bugsy after you defeat him. I also like U-Turn a lot. It's a good move. With these moves, Fearow does great against Bugsy's team. Morty's team if you want Spearow or Fearow to have Pursuit, but I mean, it's only there for extra backup. Chuck's team, Will's grass types, Koga's Venomoth and Ariados, Bruno's fighting types, just be careful of Machamp, it still has Rock Slide, Karen's Vileplume, Erika's team, Janine's Bug types, Sabrina's Mons, I suppose of U-Turn if you want to go that route, Blue's Executor and Machamp, Ariana's Vileplume line, and Red's Venusaur. I still think Fearow is better than Crobat and will provide you an easier time than Crobat could. Returning to the Johto best team, we have our lovable sheep dude, Ampharos. Mareep can be found directly below Violet City in a patch of grass. Johto is nothing without Ampharos. It's literally the best electric type mon you can get. Electric typing, as I always demonstrate in Johto, is very, very viable. There are loads of water Pokemon, bird keepers, and a bunch of other trainers that electric does well against too. It also takes a good chunk of our team's weaknesses away. The absolute coolest thing though in Heartgold and Soulsilver is that we can get Mareep before Falconer. Ampharos has some great electric moves as well, being Discharge, which we get at level 34. It also has cool coverage attacks like Signal Beam and Power Gem. I've explained why Ampharos is good several times in Johto already, that I think you guys pretty much get it by now. Now something else I will mention is that Jolteon isn't a bad choice either, but I have a counter argument against that. It doesn't get Discharge until level 78, and the way you get Thunderbolt is ridiculous. The game corner in Heartgold and Soulsilver is really dumb and expensive. The game to play isn't that bad, and there is a generator for it, but I still think it's a pain to get. Plus it requires Eevee, and I don't really want to spoil anything in regards to Eevee. But yeah, Ampharos is the best electric type Pokemon we can get. Oh, I should also mention that Ampharos also has a much better move pool than Jolteon does. Coming into Ampharos' moveset, we have Discharge, Focus Blast, Thunder Wave, and Signal Beam. Discharge, like I mentioned earlier, can be learned at level 34. Earlier moves are Thundershock Shock being first, and then Thunder Punch after, and then after Thunder Punch, Discharge. Focus Blast is great because it's one of the best coverage attacks it gets, and that can be bought at the Goldenrod department store like I mentioned earlier of Typhlosion. Thunder Wave can be learned at level 14, and that's handy because paralysis and being able to cripple a Pokemon's speed in half is always super handy. Signal Beam is learned at level 42, and it's there because it's one of the best coverage attacks Ampharos can get. Ampharos does well with these moves against Falconer, Bugsy's Scyther, Chuck's Poliwrath, Jasmine's team, Price's team, Clara's Gyarados, Will's team, Koga's Crobat, Bruno's Onix, but be careful, Karen's Umbreon, Lance's Gyarados and Aerodactyl, Brock's Amistar, Misty's team aside from Quagsire, Erica's Bellossom and Tangela, Sabrina's team, Blaine's Magcargo, Blue's Gyarados, Pidgeot, Exeggutor, and Rhydon, but be careful, Silver's team aside from Gengar, Proton's Golbat, Ariana's Murkrow, Archer's Houndoom line, and Red's Charizard, Blastoise, Lapras, and Snorlax. Ampharos always does well in Johto, and I'm super happy to have this cute Pokemon on our team once again. Our first Pokemon on the later half of this team is Heracross. Heracross unfortunately couldn't make the team in the original Johto games due to not having a great move pool. However, as time went on, Heracross got more moves to choose from and rightfully earned its spot on this team. Now getting Heracross isn't too bad. You can get Heracross in Route 33 with Headbutt. Now for Headbutt, you'll be getting that from a move tutor in Neelix Forest. Just teach it to Flaffy temporarily and get rid of Tackle. Heracross is going to be underleveled when you first get it, being anywhere from levels 3 to 5, but it's still pretty early on, so it shouldn't be that much of an issue to power it up with the rest of the team. It's definitely worth it. With solid stats and an improved move pool, Heracross can really put a dent into many of the battles we'll be having throughout Johto and Kanto. So for a moveset, we're going to be using Brick Brick, Rock Tomb, Close Combat, and then later on, Mega Horn. And then Shadow Claw we will exchange later on for Night Slash. Brick Break is a level up move that Heracross learns at level 19. Rock Tomb's TM can be found in Union Cave near the northern part of the cave downstairs. I should also mention if you want to replace Rock Tomb later on with Rock Slide, you can. You get Rock Slide from Brock after you defeat him. Close Combat and Mega Horn are also level up moves learned at level 37 and level 55 respectively. Shadow Claw's TM can be found on Route 42, right next to the Mount Mortar exit, which will come in handy for Morty. We're going to replace it later on with Night Slash, which is a move that can be relearned in Blackthorn City. You'll need a hard skill to get it, so I'll have a video link in the description telling you guys how to get hard skills in these games. With this moveset, Heracross can do well against Whitney's team, Morty's team of Shadow Claw. I should also mention watch out for Dream Eater on Gengar because that can hurt like a stinger. Jasmine's team, Press's Dugong and Piloswine, Clara's Gyarados, Will's Slowbro, although you have to be really lucky and make sure Heracross has Mega Horn, but yeah. Koga's Ariados and Venomoth, Bruno's Onix, Karen's Umbreon, Lance's Gyarados and 3 Dragonite, be careful of that team though. Woo. Brock's team, Misty's Lapras and Starmie, Lieutenant Surge's Magneton, Erica's Jumpluff, Tangle, and Blossom, Janine's Ariados and Venomoth, Sabrina's team, but be careful for the love of Arceus. Blaine's team with Rock Slide or Rock Tomb, but I mean, be careful fire types, guys, come on. Blue's Exeggutor, Rhydon, and Gyarados, Silver's Sneasel and Magneton, and finally Red's Lapras and Snorlax. Yeah, Heracross definitely packs quite a punch. If only it were this good in the original Johto games. In the second to last slot, we have a member that is greatly improved since Gold, Silver, and Crystal. I'm of course talking about Espeon. As you may recall from the Johto Remastered from 2 weeks ago, Espeon was our best possible Psychic Pokemon when excluding trait evolutions. However, it was really rough around the edges. We had to take the Eevee we got from Bill and breed it with the Ditto to be able to make it more useful. We also did not have the physical special split yet, so many moves were significantly worse on Espeon. But now in Generation 4, all of those problems are solved. We've got our physical special split, the Eevee we get from Bill is level 5, so there's no need to hatch a new one, and as a bonus, we have the Soothe Bell to help it evolve into Espeon much faster. The Soothe Bell is located in the top right side of National Park beyond the gates. From there, keep Eevee at the front of your party. Ride around on your bike a lot, battle with it while not letting it fate, and go to the Haircut Brothers to increase its friendship quickly and evolve it into Espeon as quickly as you possibly can. Now for its moveset, we're going to use Psybeam, Shadow Ball, Reflect, and finally Psychic. Psybeam is a level up move learned at level 36, so you want to use Confusion on Espeon until then. Confusion is learned at level 15, so make sure to evolve your Eevee into an Espeon before level 15. Shadow Ball's TM is obtained after you defeat Morty. Reflect's TM can be bought at the Goldenrod City department store. Now you don't have to keep it on the entire playthrough. If you'd like, you can later on put Morning Sun, which is a level 71. It's really up to you guys. Either of those moves or fine, or you can even use Light Screen. I really don't care. And lastly, we have Psychic. Psychic's TM can be received from Mr. Psychic and Saffron. The reason we have this and Psybeam is simply because Psychic doesn't have a lot of PP. So we have both as a precautionary measure. And on top of that too, the TM comes a lot more handy because Espeon doesn't get it until level 64. With these moves, Espeon can do well against Morty with Confusion, just be careful of Gengar's Shadow Ball, please. Chuck's team, Proton's team, Petrol's team, Ariana's Arbok and Vileplume, Archer's Coughing, Will's entire team of Shadow Ball, Koga's team aside from Fortress, Bruno's team aside from Onix, Karen's Vileplume and Gengar, Misty's Starmie, Erica's Victory Bell, Janine's team, Sabrina's team of Shadow Ball, Blue's Exeggutor, Exeggutor and Machamp, Silver's Golbat, Alakazam, and maybe his Gengar if you're careful, and finally Red's Venusaur. Yeah, Espeon does a lot better in the remakes, and it really is much less of a headache, and it's much better to use. And the last member of our team, yet again, is Lapras. This right here is the Pokemon that I said was better than Feraligatr. Here's why. Lapras has a better move pool, and it isn't drained with attacks that have it use its worst attack stat. What I mean is, Lapras has special attacks that go with its high special attack stat. Feraligatr does not. Lapras also has Ice Beam learned at level 32, plus its same type attack bonus. So yeah, for what Lapras is needed for, it gets the job done better than Feraligatr. Now where you get Lapras is the same as usual. We go to the deepest and southernmost part of Union Cave on Friday night to get it. Now you'll need Surf to get it, so we'll have a temporary Surfer. This use a Sentry or something. Surf is given to you by an old man at the Ecruteak Dance Theater after you defeat a Rocket Grunt. Surf will be usable after you beat Morty, which works out very well. Lapras will be caught at level 20 and can then immediately be taught Surf to be your primary Surfer. So for its moveset, we've got Surf, Perish Song, Ice Beam, and Thunder. Surf, as I just said, is received from an old man in Ecruteak City Dance Theater. Perish Song and Ice Beam are both level up moves learned at level 27 and level 32. Perish Song is there simply as an all-out move. Of course, you can switch your Lapras out to save it too. Finally, Thunder's TM can be bought at the Goldenrod department store. Now, you can try to go get Thunderbolt, however, that's going to cost you 10,000 coins at the game corner, which will take you forever. So I'd really recommend sticking with Thunder, even though I usually don't recommend it. With these moves, Lapras can do well against Chuck's Poliwrath, Jasmine's Steelix, Price's team, Claire's team aside from Kingdra, Proton's Golbat, Ariana's Vileplume and Murkrow, Archer's Houndour and Houndoom, Will's Xatu, Slowbro and Exeggutor, Koga's Crobat, Bruno's Onix, Karen's Vileplume, Murkrow and Houndoom, Lance's entire team, Brock's entire team, Misty's team aside from Quagsire, Janine's Crobat, Blaine's team, Blue's team aside from Machamp, Silver's Golbat and Feraligatr, and finally Red's Lapras, Venusaur, Charizard, and Blastoise. So as you guys can see, Lapras is much better than Feraligatr, and it continues to be Johto's best dominant water type. Well, that's pretty much the entire Heartgold and Soulsilver Best Team Remastered. This team is most definitely a mass improvement over the last one, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I can already feel some of you people type out though, this is the same best team as the Gold and Silver Crystal one. My answer to that, no crap. A lot of the Pokemon from the original are really good, so why wouldn't I put them there? The physical special split did happen, and it improved a lot of Pokemon that would have been useless, even further improving Pokemon that had been on the team before. I could have used the original best team and would have been fine. Hard disagree there, everyone, Chief. A lot of things were changed in the remakes. Okay, enough of my rant though. I hope you guys enjoyed the team and me fixing it. Now go out there and go play some Heartgold and Soulsilver. If you enjoyed the video, why not leave a like and subscribe to my channel with notifications on, that way you never miss an upload. If you want to support me further, consider following my Twitch where I stream a lot of Pokemon content and Nintendo content like Shiny Hunting, Showdown Battles, Explorers of Sky, Zelda, Fire Emblem, Smash Brothers, Borderlands, you name it, I play it. Want to support me further in Game Club perks? Check out my Patreon. Daniel Leone, Lady Crimson, Pal491, The Lazy Leo, Matthew Young, Awesome Lego, Jarrett Weezosted, and Sodden Grider did, and I want to thank them personally for going above and beyond. It means the world to me. I think I'm gonna wrap this up though. I'm Mr. Gumbrian, and I will see you in the future for more awesome Pokemon content.